Let's learn some Torah. Last Shabbos we had Parashat Korach. There is a prohibition to be like Korach. Korach was somebody who was machzik b'machloikis, who just wanted to make fighting. The main thing is that you have to run away from fights. Run away from machloikis. Machloikis is like a building on fire. Just run away. Run away. Just run away. Machloikis is like a fire. If you could put the fire out with a fire hose, that's one thing. Just run away though. There's no human beings in the building, just get the fire hose, just run away. Run away from machloikis. One of the most important things to know is that this world is short. This world is only 120 years, and that's it. This world is a preparation for the world to come. The world to come, how long does the world to come go on for?
Eternity.
Eternity, thank you. Mamish. The world to come is where we're all going. Bezrat Hashem, Kol Yisrael yesh lem chelek la'olam haba. Bezrat Hashem, that's when the real fun starts. The world to come. This world is very, very short. We mentioned it before, it's something that C. Meyer speaks about, is that we're in the year 2023. There's nobody here in this world from the year 1903. Every single person who's alive in the year 1903 is not in this world anymore. Every single person in the world, the entire globe, all of humanity has switched over. Every single person in the globe was not here in the year 1903, 120 years ago. But somehow we live with this kind of feel like we'll just be here forever. This world is short. The world to come is the olam shakulei aruch, the world that is entirely long, that goes on forever. This world, though, ends. Everything that we have for the world to come, we build in this world. Everything we have for the world to come, we build in this world. So choose wisely. Right? Choose very, very wisely. I want to tell you a story, a real story, about choosing wisely and not getting lost in the sauce of this world. So there was somebody who came to a great dayan. A dayan is a person who makes halachic judgment here in Jerusalem. And how did they come to him? Because there were people in a building that, it was a building of 6. There were 6 units in the building. And there is something that's called vad bayit. I don't know how you translate that to English. It's the renters or the homeowner's fee that you pay to the building. Is there a name for that? Vad bayit. The money that you pay for the monthly...
Housing association.
House association?
It's like the housing association.
It's HOH.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Not the rent.
No,
It's
it's
Maintenance.
how does it called?
HOA, homeowner association dues.
Yeah, the dues for keeping the flowers outside the building, or the lights in the corridor, or the cleaners that come once a week to do all the public areas, well, the private but public for the building. And everybody has to pay. We pay in our building once a year, and other people pay once a month. And this building had 6 units, and the total cost per month for all the units was 60 shekels. So do the math. How much is that per person per month? 10 shekels a month. So over the course of the year, you pay 120 shekels each, and that 720 for the year, and that paid for the light bulbs that would have to get changed and just the communal expenses. For whatever reason, one of the units decided, I'm not paying anymore. I don't want to pay. Now, if he doesn't pay, let's say the other 5 would have to pick up his toll. How much would they have to pay? Do the math. 12, excellent. Meaning, if one stops paying, so the other 5 pay 12, which means it's each unit adding how much per month? 2 more shekels a month. Do you know what the other 5 units said?
No.
We are not paying. We are not paying. If he didn't pay, then we're not paying. So, what obviously happened at that point, if nobody's paying,
They didn't get cleaned up.
so there's no light bulbs, there's no electricity in the corridor. Now, this was a building that had families in it. They have families. And in the dark, you can't get up and down the staircase, especially young kids and stuff like that. So what did they have to do? Those families would go out, they would buy candles, they would put them in the stairwell for 1 year and 8 months. 1 year and 8 months. They were putting candles in the stairwell.
Wouldn't that cost more?
A lot more. Not to mention the tircha, not to mention just candles and bumping stuff, and you're carrying bags and there's like candles. And when they were asked, and then finally they went to Beis Din, and they said to Beis Din, to the court, that we want to force him to pay. So Beis Din asked, like, tell me the whole story, what happened? One of them didn't want to pay. So listen to the way the Beis Din thinks. The first thing Beis Din said is, why wouldn't you just all pay an extra 2 shekels? You're right, he didn't want to pay. Okay, we'll deal with him. But in the interim, why wouldn't you just all pitch in 2 more shekels a month? For people that don't know, 2 shekels a month is approximately 50 cents. Approximately a month. You're like, yeah? No? 55 cents?
It's probably a lot.
60 cents. Less?
Yeah, probably like
40 cents?
Like 45 probably.
Oh, that's 3.7.
Can't not 5 shekels.
Okay? So we're dealing with cents a month. He said, just pay the extra 2 shekels a month. Why would you go through all the effort of all the candles and all of this, and it cost you more money to do the whole thing? So listen to what their answer was. It's not about the money. It's about the principle. It's about the principle. It's about the principle.
So they have to make their lives harder just because someone else.
It's about the principle. I will not. I will not. So Tzvi Meyer said, I don't know what the word principle means. So I don't know exactly what that means. But he said, one thing I do know is whatever that means, it's the exact opposite of anybody who has real brains. It's the exact opposite of anybody who lives with the truth that this world is temporary and the world to come is forever. And a person who's living with that truth, so what? Who cares that you're going through this whole crazy thing and making your kids in the dark with this? Who cares? That person wants to do something crazy. Sometimes you just have to pay to not make a machlokas. You pay to not make problems. Be willing to pay. You should have money in your account that I'll pay money. Now, you could go to Beis Din in the beginning also. He doesn't want to pay? Take him to Beis Din. You're going to take the Beis Din, this guy to Beis Din for 2 shekels a month. You probably spend more on the whole thing. And who knows, maybe that person just needed somebody to bring them a plate of brownies or something, or to love them. I didn't mean the psychedelic ones. I mean the regular ones. Maybe someone he just needed some love to go and see why he wasn't paying. But you think God really wants you to, for the principle. And now you're making your kids walk up and down with candles in the hallway. So listen what the Dayan said. The Dayan said, it's obviously you didn't come to me with a monetary question. Because 50 cents a month, that wasn't the question. It seems to me that you came to me not for a monetary question. So Beis Din, we deal with monetary law. You're coming to me with something which is something that a psychiatrist is needed. I'm not the one to deal with that question. Something is wrong with your brains. Or a psychologist. But you come to Beis Din, we're going to deal with money here. You came to the wrong place. Because anybody with a basic brain in their heads would understand, pay the money. Don't do something for the principle. This is koirach. So think about the things in your life where you're setting up candles in the middle of this dark corridor. This whole world is like one corridor. What are the candles that I'm setting up just for the principle of it? Or holding on to different machloikis or things, family members. We don't talk. Why not? I don't even know anymore. I don't even know anymore. Why not? I don't know. But it's the principle now. And now it's just too far gone to even talk. No, it's not. Pay 2 shekels. Get the lights back on. Get the lights back on in that relationship. It pains me that that's a real story. But it means that there's things in our life that we have to think, where am I holding on to stuff? Where am I holding on to machloikis? And I want to let go of that. I want to tell you another story. I'm in a story mood today. It's a much longer story, but I'll tell you the shortened version. That there was a certain rich person, the Tzanzer Rebbe told over the story, there's a certain rich person, he was on a journey, and he came to the Tzanzer Rav, and the Tzanzer Rav, through a whole sequence of events, sent him to the Maggid from Mezhbich. And when he got to the Maggid's house, he saw that the Maggid was living in total poverty. And he gets to the door and he sees this shack, and the Maggid opens the door and says, "Oh, Shalom Aleichem, so nice to see you." And he knew the Maggid was a big tzaddik. The Maggid was the main student of the Baal Shem Tov. And he knew that he was a big tzaddik, but he started tearing up because he just saw the absolute poverty of his house. And he was a rich guy. And he said to him, I feel so bad for you. I feel so bad. You have nothing in the house. So the Maggid asked this rich guy, he said, what do you have in your house? So, what do I have in my house? I've got beautiful mahogany bookshelves filled with the most amazing svarim and glassware and silverware. I've got gold. I've got jewels. I have precious things in the house. I have beautiful furniture. My house itself is humongous. And he started listing all the fine art that he had and all the fancy things that he had in his house. So the Maggid asked him, he said, "Can I just ask you, why you don't have it with you?" He said, "Because that's, I'm traveling. I'm on the road. That stuff's in my house. I'm traveling." So the Maggid said, "I'm also traveling. I've also got a lot of things in my house, even much nicer than you described, but I'm also traveling. I'm also on the road. This whole world is just a small corridor before the world to come. Don't get lost in the sauce." Right? Don't get lost in the sauce. Don't stand up for your principle. Don't get lost. Hold on to eternal things. Don't make fights. Run away like a building on fire. I'm talking to myself. Run away like a building on fire. It's never worth it. Don't make fights. It's not worth it. The end of Kairach was not good. It was not good. And all those who stood with Kairach, even though some did tshuva, they were swallowed up into the earth. Run away from machlokes. Just run away. I want to move on to the next part of our Siddur, experience together, going through the Jewish daily prayers. And we spoke about Asher Yotzar. If everyone remembers, that after every single time we use the bathroom, we say this unbelievable prayer to the Master of the world about thank God everything is working properly. Now I want to begin the next part, which is an amazing prayer that we say for returning our soul, even though we hinted to it in Moda Ani, but we're in the next part. This is the prayer called Elokai Neshama. So we say God, Elokai. Now, halachically, you're supposed to make a bit of a break, says the Mishnah between Elokai and Neshama, because you don't want it to say to God, my soul is God. It's a spark of God. It's the closest thing in the entire world to God, but it's not God. Because that would turn a person into an idol. You understand what I mean? It's the closest thing to God. It's the least finite thing in the world, is our soul. Or in other words, the most non-finite thing in the world. Yeah? Neshama. My neshama. Shenosata bi, that you put inside of me. Now, isn't it funny? I thought I am my soul. So the neshama that you put in me, so the neshama is me or it's not me? The neshama that you put in me, I thought I'm the neshama. Well, what's me? The neshama that you put inside of me. Tavi Nachman, so who is the me? But I'm saying, God, the neshama that you put in me. So am I the neshama? I'm the body? I'm the body? I'm a bunch of, gains? I've been hitting the TRX. That's me? It can't be that I'm, because that's also just going to turn into worm food. It can't be that I am the bicep. So what is the me? So really the truth is, the you is whoever you identify with. You really are the neshama, but the job in this world is to identify it. You have a whole lifetime to choose to be that neshama, which is really the real you. The you is the ability of choice. You are choice. You are choice. So choose wisely. At the end of this life, you're going to see the sum total of all the choices that you made. And therefore, when a person sees who he is at the end of this life, he's not going to be able to say, but. Bro, you chose this. You will be whatever you chose. That's the power of free will. You are your choice. The truth is you really are the soul. You're just getting covered over by the lies of the Yetzer Hara, by the lies of the evil inclination. It's for you to choose. You will be the soul forever. Because after this world, do you still have free will after this world? No, free will's gone. So then what remains? Are you the body? No, it turns into worm food. This is the cool part. You will be, you are the soul, but you'll only be the soul that you chose. You hear that? You'll only be the soul to the degree that you chose your soul in this world. Which means every single day that you have the opportunity to choose your soul, the amount that you chose it will be what you will be forever. The parts that remained unseen won't be you. You never chose it. You are the choice in this world to the degree that you're really choosing yourself, the soul. And the animal soul is trying to do identity theft and to convince you that you're the animalistic desires. I remember like some movie growing up, I don't know the name, where it was something like, there was some identity theft that happened, and then some guy he runs back to his house, and he sees like his wife inside the house, and he sees like his wife, he's like, oh my goodness, I'm finally home, and then he sees like another man there, and he knocks on the door, and who is it? Someone's at the door, honey. He opens the door, he's like, this is my house. He's like, who are you? He's like, I'm John Doe, or something. And the guy that opened the door is like, no, I'm John Doe. Closes the door, he's like, who is that, honey? Nobody, some crazy guy. He's like, who am I? Who? But that's me. He stole my life. Who am I? The Yetzer Hara is trying to steal your identity, that you don't even know who you are. Really what Torah is trying to give you back is to reclaim your identity. This is like deep psychological stuff. To reclaim who you really are. Could there be any greater gift? To reclaim who you really are? You will be the soul to the degree that you chose it in this world. To the degree that you unleashed it and unlocked it, you will be that, and then you'll really unleash whatever you unlocked in this world. And every single morning, you say to Hashem, God, that soul that you put in me, i.e. the part that's choosing, tahoirahi, it is so pure. Which means that the real me is pure. And therefore I'm starting the day, and this is a clarion call, this is a mission for all of us, that we start the day knowing I am pure, I am good, and if anything throughout the day tries to tell me otherwise, you're nobody, man, you're not good, you're a lowlife, look what you did in Telly, look what happened over there. It's not true. I know that I'm good. I'm pure, I'm good. Tahoirahi. Even whatever happened yesterday, and the day before, and the last 25 years. I am pure. So you begin with this like psychological shift. The real me is good. And anything that's coming to tell you otherwise is not true. And therefore you could call that out. When that voice comes into your brain saying, oh, you're not this, you're not that, you can call it out. We should have the merit, my friends, to know that we're good, to know that we're pure. And with that, to bring purity, the spirit of purity back to the world, to all of humanity. B'ezrat Hashem, with Mashiach Tzidkeinu, b'mehera v'yameinu. Amen. Amen. Have a wonderful week, a wonderful day, my friends. Kol Tuv.